Hi everybody, this is Andrew and Brent here, making up a short video for you. This is your XC90 T8. We've just started it. Okay, I wanted to show you the dashboard.
So yeah, just right here we have the lower one. You got the fuel, so that's your distance till empty. The one above it is electric power, distance to empty. That will vary based on the driving style. If it's more aggressive or kind of stop and go traffic, the range will recalculate itself, sort of thing, and the numbers will change. Right here you get the fuel gauge. And then right beside it, the blue one is your electric. So that'll display, once you start the vehicle, it will display. And then on here, once it says ready, that's the vehicle is running. We're in hybrid mode right now, so the engine isn't on. And once you start going, that needle will start to rise. If we change the drive mode here, just down here you push that in, and then up on here you can choose different drive modes. So pure would be full electric, is what the vehicle would attempt to do. Hybrid, it will do electric as best it can if it needs to. If you demand more power out of the engine, it'll change, it'll activate, it'll start the engine basically, and then you'll have engine and electric until that power demand drops down, and then you'll go back to full electric. Power mode will be engine power and electric power. They'll both be running. The engine will do the front wheels, the electric will do the back wheels, and that's when you get the most power out of the vehicle. Of course, at the expense of a little bit of extra fuel usage and battery usage. Then off-road just kind of tunes it a little bit, so you're less likely that the wheels will slip, and that it uses all the computer calculations for stability in that. Let's see, other than that, so we got the buttons on the dash here. So this square one here, assuming there's no messages in the dash, so if we were to open the door, one will pop up. You press the center button here, you can scroll through those messages. And once they're all gone, we can push these two squares and another menu will pop up here. So that's an overview of kind of your mileage, so liters per 100, average speeds, things like that. If you keep scrolling through, you can actually customize the dash a little bit here. So we have these boxes checked right now, so if we uncheck it over here, that one will just disappear. So you can toggle things on and off. Same for the fuel, battery, so if it's something that you don't want to see on there all the time, you can turn it off. Same down here, we can just change a few options, just based on personal preference. You also have media options here, so if you were wanting to change your input for the music, you could do it here, or you could do it in the center display as well. And then one more thing, which is on the center display. If we swipe it that direction there, oh, sorry, wrong way, to the right, you get a bunch of options on the vehicle. So you can turn on lane keeping assist, all the safety features here. Scroll down here. So these are cruise controls on the steering wheel. You can also activate it in here. You got your blind spot indicator. A fun one, you can do this, and then you can adjust using the buttons on the driver's seat. Will actually move the passenger's seat, which is a nice feature. As for the hybrid feature, if you were to be driving it and you wanted the engine to charge while you were driving, you would select charge mode. It will use a little bit more fuel and the engine will stay running, but it will help to charge the battery while you're driving, as opposed to having to stop and plug it in.
Now, why would you recommend that if you're going on pure electric form, and if your radius is roughly between 14 and 17 miles, when would you switch the charge on? Once you're getting low to that 17 miles, would it indicate to say that the pure electric is low, switch over to gasoline? Does it do it naturally?
It will do it automatically. If the battery power does get low enough, it will just use the gas engine.
Right.
It won't necessarily charge the batteries unless you select that
Oh, right.
while you're using the gas engine.
So if you switched over to gas, you would then press the charge button. You're going to use a little bit more gas, but it would charge up your battery.
Yeah, it would charge them as you're driving, as opposed to if you were to just stop and plug it in, right?
Okay.
So that's just an option you have. You don't necessarily have to use it.
What's the hold with the lock on it?
The hold will attempt to hold the current charge. So let's say that you're at a quarter of battery charge, and say for whatever reason you were wanting to use it later and not while you were currently driving, it would do its best to hold that charge, whether it be not using the electric power and more relying on the gas engine. So then if you were to, say, get to your destination, it would still have that quarter charge of battery. So it basically just tries to keep it at a certain charge level.
Now, is that hold is whilst you're actually driving on pure electric? But I thought if you're driving it, it's going to obviously reduce your battery consumption,
Yes.
electric consumption.
So if you were to have it, say you had it at the quarter charge level, and you wanted it to hold at that, the vehicle may determine if the charge is getting below that, it'll start the engine up.
Okay.
And it'll use the engine to charge it back up to that quarter level.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so that's if you were on a long trip and you wanted to conserve some battery power, you could use the hold feature.
Right. In between charging stations, and just in case you didn't know where the lay of the land is with regard to those charging
Gives
stations.
you the option whether if you want to save your electric for later, or if you kind of want to use the gas engine. It just gives you options.
Now, what is the gas consumption like here? If I'm either doing dual, hybrid, or I remember reading the fact that because it's the hybrid model, you're getting a better miles per gallon, or
Yes, yeah. There is a display in here, so if we go and swipe this direction here, you can do driver's performance, which is quite nice even when you're driving. So when you're using the gas engine, it'll be in green, and it'll show arrows coming out of the gas engine, just to say that the gas engine is driving the wheels. And once you start coasting or hitting the brakes, it'll have blue arrows to show you that it's regenerating. It's using that braking power to help charge the batteries. So I believe this one was on just regular hybrid mode, kind of day-to-day use when we went for a drive, and it's showing on that particular drive 5.1 liters per 100 kilometers. Now it varies, right, based on the driving, more if there's hills or flat ground or traffic and stuff like that.
city and highway driving?
Yeah, exactly. So that gives you a nice overview of your average consumption. It'll show you the duration of the drive and the distance that it was.
Okay.
So that kind of gives you an idea.
Cool. And I've just noticed on the dashboard there, you've got the likes of the P for park, neutral, reverse, drive. The B, what's the B stand for?
I believe that is battery, as far as I know. You might have to look that one up though.
Okay, well, it's a learning curve for both of us.
Yeah.
And then the hybrid, that's
just
cool.
your drive mode. So if you were to change it here, and if we were to go to pure, it will change that there.
there.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
And if we go to power, it will start the engine on power. It will also change your gauge up there. So it'll come up with the tachometer. So that's the RPMs of the engine. As opposed to if we were to go back to, say, pure. And that kind of just gives you a gauge of how much electrical power you're using. So if you demand more, the gauge will rise more.
Now, where's the gauge? Is that with regards to this, where it says ready, then green?
Yeah. So we'll see if I rev it up. We might have to be moving. Yeah.
We'll try that this afternoon. We'll go out and we'll test drive with it then.
Yeah.
Now, I see with the little battery icon there.
Yeah.
Is that when it looks at that's blue on the dashboard? So we've got near enough. We've gone down quite a bit. We've got about 3/4 of
just
power lift
above
of the battery.
3/4. Yeah. Which at the latest consumption, it would give you about 21 kilometers of pure electric.
Pure electric.
Yeah. Okay. If it was a hybrid, if it was using the gas and the electric, you might be able to get a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll take it out and we'll see once she's actually driving.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Yeah. No problem.